Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for the qualifying round Master Division here in the Fall Major Tournament in Golf Clash the game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content for free. You can get the tour and tournament guides to improve your gameplay on patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link directly in the description down below. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the elevation adjustment, the club distance adjustment, also a ball and club type I do suggest you to play with. Have in mind that you don't have to play with what I do suggest, but there is always a plan behind it. So in the end, let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we're gonna start by playing with a Win 5 Power 2 Side Spin 1 ball. You can play with a Side Spin 2 ball as well, obviously. But for the drive, we're using 5 bars of top spin, 1 bar of side spin to the right. Red ring by the rough line just before a +1, and that is with Apocalypse level 7, level 8. Apocalypse level 5, level 6, we go with half of the red ring inside the rough to the right. Adjustment, maximum distance +10, which is 1 to 1. So we then take half a ball of curl to the right and we bounce on the fairway over to the other fairway, looking to get the ball up to 350 yards. 351, and now we're gonna look for minimum distance. If our club is just by the cutoff between the rough and the sand, from 351, we do play medium distance, no elevation whatsoever. Ball guideline should be just outside the cup to the right, and you can see that we are overlapping a little bit. We need to make sure that we are just outside the cup to the right here. Medium distance, no elevation, as already explained. We do adjust, and then it's time to take our shot. Perfect ball is gonna be in the way. There we go, and we see the ball bounce into the rough and then roll down towards the pin, and we get the drop on the left hand side. But once again, the importance of the position for the second shot is the ball guideline just outside the cup to the right instead of overlapping just a little bit. That's going to be the trick of getting this rough bump to drop on hole number 1. For hole number 2, we will be attempting a rough bump, and here the position is everything. 2.6 backspin, 1.2 bars of side spin to the left. I'm looking to box in the inner ring, meaning I want the left side to be by the edge of the sand, and then the right side by the edge of the rough to the right. And ball guideline will miss the pin approximately 1 green square to the left of the pin. Adjustment here now is going to be medium distance -10%, power 3 ball settings. So I do adjust 6.3, which is wrong. Okay, so we should be adjusting 6 rings. So I go back and then push up the 3 rings that I did adjust too much. And then it's time to obviously try to take our shot. Perfect ball, and we're gonna see this ball catching the rough and roll towards the pin for a lovely hole-in-one. Have in mind though that a bad great right could be danger. A great left has not been danger at all, for myself at least, because I've been hitting 2 great left, but I'm not hit great right yet, so that's why I want to at least say that a great right could be danger, but a good chance on hole number 2. For hole number 3, we do have a tailwind, and we're gonna start by doing a fixed position adjustment. With Apocalypse 7 and 8, we go with the blue ring by the bunker, incomplete max distance. 6 bars of top spin, 3 bars of side spin to the left, and then we're not gonna adjust any rings. We're just gonna leave the position where it was. Now we go with full curl to the left and 3.5 ring of overpower. Perfect ball, and we're gonna see the ball carrying over the rough and bounce nicely on the fairway. Those of you that do want to play with a power 4 ball, you can do that, but I do think it's great value to actually play with a Kingmaker here in hole number 3, because we're still gonna have a really good chance making an Albatross from distance. Now, Guardian is going to be the club, and we're gonna go with max backspin and 1 bar of side spin to the left. Just to give you a reference, we are going to play slider percentage here based on a perfect drive. Look at the second bounce position. You can see that we are into the third green square to the left of the pin, basically being pin high. And then from here, we do adjust with -5% elevation. And once again, to give you a reference, 450 yards on your drive with a perfect as a base is 59% slider with -5%. Perfect ball, and we're gonna see the ball bounce on the green, it comes back in, catching the funnel and rolls nicely for an Albatross. Have in mind here that a great left and a great right could actually be dropping as well, because the funnel is huge on the back of the green. So if you follow this this method that I do explain here, you're gonna have more Albatross than not. For hole number 4, we are going to use the sniper and the quarterback. The sniper because we want to find the minimum distance as easy as possible. Red ring by the rough line to the left, and we're using 3 bars of side spin to the right with 1.8 bars of backspin. Once that is done, we will be making an adjustment that is minimum distance with a 20% over adjustment power 1 ball setting. So we do play with a power 1 ball, and we're gonna keep the power 1 ball as well. Now, curl. Now we're gonna go with half of the ball into the wall to the right. Very important. That curl is a must, otherwise we will definitely be missing this hole. Perfect ball. And we're gonna see the ball bounce nicely on the fairway over the bunker and then roll, catching what I do think is a pretty nice funnel there on the green, getting that ball in the hole for a hole-in-one. I do believe hole number 4 is a really good chance. I do think that this is the best of the chances to make an hole-in-one in the tournament. For hole number 5, we're gonna play on the right hand side. That is, in my opinion, a no-brainer, because the funnel from the right hand side with the wind that we're gonna have is far superior than going to the left. 4.5 bar top spin, max side spin to the right, which is 3 bars. We have half of the blue ring inside the rough with Apocalypse 7 and 8. Apocalypse 5 and 6 will go with red ring by the rough line to the right. Perfect ball after adjusting maximum distance +10. Ball bounce on the fairway, we're getting over to the other fairway, and then you will see the ball getting a little glitch roll here, and we get the ball up to approximately 375 yards. So 375 to 378 is kind of what we are looking to get. Now we're gonna be very close to minimum distance here. You can see that minimum distance is at the beginning of the fairway there. I'm using the top of the blue ring as my position, and you can see that I'm looking to have a straight ball guideline towards the pin. And regardless what type of wind we're going to have for this shot, having a straight ball guideline is going to be the trick from getting this ball to drop all the time. You can notice, well, I could go back and forth, and we're still into that massive funnel, which actually mean that if we adjust properly, we will see ourselves having this shot in somewhat great ball proofed, which is weird, but obviously really nice. Minimum distance +10, and then I'm adding 0.1 extra decimal here because I was not in entirely minimum distance, but we would be managing doing this shot without that, not adding that decimal also. Again, it's a massive funnel. Hole number 5 is an absolute must to get a drop here on hole number 5. For hole number 6, we are going to start by adding as much topspin possible combined with 2 bars of side spin to the left. And we are looking now to have the complete white ring into the rough on the left, or let's say like this, we're gonna have the 4th ring by the rough to the left with Apocalypse level 7, level 8, and also Apocalypse 5, level 6, we'll go with half of the 4th ring into the rough on the left. Adjustment, maximum distance, no elevation. Have in mind that the tree is in your way, so if you feel that's gonna be a struggle, then push your rings instead of pulling. Left side of the ball, just outside the adjustment ring to the left in terms of curl, and then we're going to try to hit perfect. Ball bounces nicely, getting it over the bunker. Pretty close though in that case, but we're getting it over. 382 yards now, second shot. We're going to look for what type of plus yardage we have our sniper in. Unfortunately though, you can see here that we are not in plus yardage, but that is what we're looking for. 1.2 bars of a backspin is the plan. Ball guideline to be a little bit short of pin. And to be just completely correct here, this is a replay. We are in +5 in terms of plus yardage. And the plus yardage is going to be played at 35% slider, minus 10% elevation. So I do zoom in a lot, just because otherwise the trees will be in my face. And now it's time to try to hit perfect with the sniper club. Perfect ball for once, and then we do clip the rough and it rolls and it comes in right at pin for a lovely albatross here on hole number 6. So we're looking to use the plus yardage on our sniper based on having the bottom of the yellow ring by the edge of the bunker, and that is when we read off, we do determine the slider. +5 equals 35% slider minus 10% elevation here on hole number 6. For hole number 7, we're actually gonna start with the quarterback. 1 bar of topspin, 3 bars of side spin to the right. We're looking now to have the red ring by the rough line with the top of the ball guideline to be touching the second shadow of the trees coming from the right. Adjustment is going to be 1 to 1, which is equal maximum distance +5, power 2 ball settings. But the easiest way to remember is it's 1 to 1. So you play 7.8 rings for 7.8 miles per hour. Now, ball to be just outside the adjustment ring to the right in curl, and obviously we're going to try to hit perfect. Bounces on the fairway, and we're looking to get this ball down to 260 yards. Second shot is going to be played with our sniper, and once again, sniper is difficult in master to hit perfect with. We start with 4.5 bars of backspin, 2 bars of side spin to the left. Now we're looking to have the ball guideline catching the funnel that is on the back end of the green. Why do we do that? It's because then we do have, in many of the cases, a great ball right covered to be still dropped. The key with the ball guideline position is the top of the ball guideline before it turns down towards the pin should be touching the fringe. Now, medium distance with a 30% over adjustment. Again, we play power 2 ball settings. As for a reference, 260 yards equals 52% slider. So we do hit great right, obviously, and then we will see this ball come bouncing, and then it turns down towards the pin by catching that funnel. I do believe a perfect would have still dropped, but easy to say now afterwards. But it is a very, very good chance here in hole number 7 with a great right and a perfect to get this one to drop. For hole number 8, the final of the par 3s, we're gonna once again do the same type of trick as we did on hole number 4, finding minimum distance. And this time, yellow ring by the rough line to the right. And here it doesn't matter what power 1 wind fireball you're playing with. So if you do have some to choose between, make sure that you save those that you do have at least side spin 3 at, in my opinion. So play with those with side spin 2. Now, 4.5 bar backspin and 1.2 bars of side spin to the left. Zoom in to be able to pull the rings, all of them, in one go. Obviously, if you do have a very high wind, that's going to be difficult, especially if you don't have grid lines. Adjustment minimum distance +20, very similar once again as hole number 4, and then try to hit a perfect ball. You can see that we're gonna bounce very close to the rough and bounce up towards the green, and we love that the ball falls down for an hole in one. Is a great ride risky? Yeah, it is. You will, in some cases, clip the rough, but the thing that I can say to you there is that if you clip the rough, you will roll out, and you will then have a very simple wedge towards the pin. I do believe that that risk is worth taking, as the drop rate has been pretty... it has been a lot of drops with this adjustment. For hole number 5, it's time to go full blast. The blue ring by the rough to the left, max top spin and 2 bars of side spin to the right. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance plus 20. So we adjust. And once that is done, we will be pushing our club up to absolute max again. So we do push it up to max, and then it's time to go with all but a little bit of a click curl with Apocalypse level 8, and then try to hit perfect based on max overpower. If you do have a club like Apocalypse level 7, 6 or 7 or 6, you should be attempting max curl to the left and not reduce a little bit like we do here on Apocalypse level 8. We're getting the ball over the rough, getting to 500 yards, getting ourselves an open shot towards the pin. If you do have a wind that is above 15 miles per hour, I would recommend you to go with the rose ball. You may be wondering, why didn't I go there with 15.1? It's because I do think that it's, you know, somewhat actually the limit. But if you're getting up to 15.5, 16 miles per hour, change to a rose ball instead, so you make sure that you're not going to carry too far and go into the water, for an example. Second shot is, in this case, played with the Thorn in this video. I'm gonna show you one with the B52 as well. Ball guideline to go 1.5 green square through the hole, very important. And then we're gonna base our adjustment based on club distance plus 30% elevation. So adjust, and then it's time to obviously take our shot. Great ball to the left, unfortunately, but looking at this ball here with a perfect, I do think this would have been very, very close, making a drop here from distance. We're gonna take a look at the long iron shot as well, and now when we are such a high way into plus yardage, we will in that case be playing with our long iron in complete minimum distance. The difference though with a long iron and a short iron is that I'm playing with the 25% elevation instead of 30 in this case. And obviously making sure that the ball guideline is going through the hole as we want to. And now when I'm not having when I'm not having like the runner or something like that, it is a little bit more difficult to find minimum distance when it comes to having the Falcon, because it turns over just if we are a little bit too far back. So time to adjust. We're gonna adjust a lot of rings here, and then we're gonna take our shot. The problem here though is obviously a really, really bad great right, and that great right is almost like a good right, and we're gonna miss this to the right of the pin, obviously. Unfortunately, that could have been a lucky drop maybe, but never something that we could expect. In the end though, this is a decent chance on hole number 9, not something that I do expect to drop every time, but with this type of wind, it's actually a fun hole to play. Thank you so much everybody for watching this qualifying round playthrough for Master Division here in the Fall Major Tournament. Video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And if you do want to get our ultimate tournament guides, you do that through patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Thank you so much once again for watching, and good luck in the Fall Major Tournament.